Good day, everyone. Now we are going to continue the discussion regarding the next chapter, and that is chapter 7, building a marketing plan. So, at the end of this chapter, it's important for us to recognize how the organization identify customer and their wants and needs. So, it's important in an entrepreneur is that we have to establish our own marketing plan. So, as part of the corporate plan, and of course the business plan that we are doing, it is important for us to formulate our own organization in order for us to identify the right customer. We have to focus on what our wants and needs. So at the same time, for this chapter, we are also here to comprehend marketing decision based on the combination of product, price, promotion, and distribution elements. So another um, important thing for this chapter is to learn how marketing is carried out by a tourism and a hospital organization to meet, of course, the requirements of domestic and international markets within the bounds of internal and external environment. So it's important for the hospitality and tourism organization that there is a requirements now for domestic and international market. So we are now open for this kind of market because we are not only targeting the national but also the international. So in this way, we have to make sure that we know the different factors that affect the internal and external environment in dealing with the international market. Another is that it's important for us to build a marketing plan because it serves as a framework and methods in developing analytical skills to solve the marketing problem. We know that in dealing with customer, there's a lot of challenges with regards of marketing, especially if we would like the customer to be aware of our product and at the same time how it become accessible and visible. So it's important also to provide a proposed enterprise with a creative and workable marketing framework. So this framework class, it's a special tool for us to be aligned with the different role and responsibility of each and every member of the organization to make sure that the marketing that we will going to present will be effective and it will also be workable. So first, let's define what is marketing plan. Okay. So a marketing plan class, it is actually a document. So I know that you are all familiar with what is marketing. So marketing is a plan wherein there's a defined objective. So once we do our marketing, we have to make sure that, excuse me, to have an objectives and what are those activities behind this marketing plan. And of course the most important thing is that it requires a budget. So once we're doing the marketing, we have to implement of course the objective and the budget. Okay, we have to compare, they have an evaluation here so that we could compare the actual output on our marketing, so whether this marketing plan is will be effective in dealing with our customer or not. Okay, so we have different steps in marketing planning process. The first one is the consumer behavior. So class, in targeting a market, it's important to know the segments of the market and know that you are already familiar with those segments. Sometimes segments it's different kinds of preference of the markets, especially in terms of their wants and needs. But of course in marketing segments we have also to know whether they are belongs to different category, like depends on their age, depends on their location, on their wants and their preferences. So it is important to know the market, and it's one of the first steps to take for business to prosper. So again, we have to take a look on the behavior of the consumer. What are those things they want, what are those things that they need. And for the current generation, of course, we have to assess and evaluate their behavior. Another thing is to analyze the consumer behavior. So once we know already our market, once we know the behavior of our consumer, so it is important to analyze that behavior and to know what are those motivating factor that affect, of course, their purchasing habits. And In this manner, it is important to understand the different characteristic of their purchase, because we all know that once we know already the market, we have to know their buying capacity. And once we know already their buying capacity, we can able to offer any kind of value that we think that is very workable on them. And what they call this, it is important for them as well, and it is worth it to buy. So that's the most important, is to set their minds into a position wherein um you establish the perception, into a position, in a marketing position. So we also need to see the factors that affect tourist um, psychological features, which may refer to their mindset and perception. So we can also check on their demographic characteristic, which are personal qualities, the characteristic and their traits, and of course the psychographic combination of both psychological and of course demographic characteristic. So another step in the marketing process is motivation. Um, is the inspiration or reason that triggers a person to take action to address a need. So here it's important, the motivational factor again, that inspires them in order for them to be triggered into a different action plan. And of course, to it is actually helpful to make a planning, and of course to assess the process as well, because marketing is part of the innovation. So the culture that shape people's values, way of thinking and practices, custom, and of course the dictate of how they decide. So the segment, specifically like gender, age, are the most common practice in the business industry. And it's important for us to know that and to understand those things. Okay. So in the ninth step in marketing planning process, the first thing that we must do is the goal and objective of the company must be reflected in a marketing plan. Again, we have to be aligned with our company's goals and objective. So if we have the company's goals and objective class, we have to align also the marketing plan prior to the goals and objective that we have. And then we set up the objective and goals of our marketing plan. So again, ito po yung marketing plan is the set of process wherein we standardize everything, and we try to put all the activities in a calendar for us to make the planning, no, that would attract guests or customer by means of marketing. So another step is to review and analyze the current status and identify the different opportunity. Of course, it is important that we already have the established, like for example po, you already have the established products and services like non-food or food related. However, since you are not done yet on how you will going to present it, so it's important to make a plan for marketing. So we have to review and analyze the status, the current status, and what are those opportunities that you can get out of this new venture. Okay, we have to set first the marketing goals and objective. And once we establish the marketing strategy, the marketing team will develop the marketing program that will provide the said value to customer. And of course, another step is to develop and select an action plan to get the desired outcome. So establish the marketing strategy. Marketing team will develop the marketing program and then select an action plan for the desired outcome. Okay, another is to address the resources required to implement the action plans and strategies. So it's important that we have this implementation of the action plan, and then communication is important to convince of course the customer to purchase the product using different marketing activities. Again, the marketing activity should have your price, your place, promotion, and distribution, which part of the activities, and we have to convince the customer. And by means of communication, by means of this collateral of marketing, that's how we will convey our message to all the guests. So we have to put together all the marketing tools into an all exclusive marketing program. So once we do that already, so it is actually intended to convey and deliver the product to get the value, no, product value to the target market. Okay, so after that, after which we're doing this kind of planning, no, like a marketing plan. So of course, what is important after the 9 step in marketing planning process is that we have to execute a marketing research. Okay, why is it important to have this research? Because sometimes we don't know yet what are those gap and opportunities now that comes along to this kind of opportunities. And with this marketing research is actually provide service quality based on the customer expectations and perception. Another thing that is important for marketing research is that it's important for the allocations of resources effectively and to know the preference, of course, and wants of the customer, to improve more of the products and services, and of course to prepare the right marketing strategies. Again, in the marketing process there should be a marketing strategy, and that is very very important for the business to survive. Okay, we have stages in research process. The first thing is to identify the problem. Of course, once you identify the problem already, check on the available resources, find and scan the available resources, and then once you're done with that, you have to select the method or the science that you will use in order to start the process. And then you collect all the data. Of course, once you're done, you have to collect all your data and then analyze your data, and then of course you have to apply certain strategies and decision that you may adapt or you think that you can recommend. So that's a research process. So on the methodology and sampling, so we have the different kinds of research methodology. And number one is the new method and existing data. We have the cost undertaking research. We have qualitative approach versus quantitative approach, and of course the sampling technique. Okay. I know you're quite familiar with this if you have your research. So these are the kind of sampling or methodology. Okay, let's talk about industry analysis. So, why is it important for us to analyze the industry? Of course, once we would like to put up a particular company and to for the customer to believe that your product is something new and something worth it. Of course, in the industry, we have to check first. No, tourism and a hospitality industry must respond and interacts with the external environment. So this external environment may be called on the other terms. The first one is the industry analysis, environmental scanning, horizon scanning, micro environmental analysis. So it's important to have this kind of analysis like industry analysis to understand the environmental situation in which it can draw out strategies that can maximize opportunities and reduce, of course, industry threats. So first, let's talk about external environmental analysis. So they have this acronym PESTEL. So what is this acronym all about, PESTEL? So we have political forces, government, regulation, and fiscal monetary. But if we are talking about E, that's economic force. So these are the PESTEL, the political forces, the economic forces, which includes the income, inflation rate, exchange rate, tax rate, etc. While the social forces, it includes the value, the attitude, the demographic, the lifestyle, the buying habits, and ethical concern. So, all the ethical concern and buying habits must be there and must be justified, for this political force. And for economic force, of course, GDP, inflation rate. Okay, and another thing is the wage level. So again, you have to remember this pastel for the external environment analysis. And then we have also the external. So we have the internal and then external. For the external, we have what we call a Porter's model. So in this kind of model class, it is something to do with bargaining power suppliers. And once we're talking about the bargaining suppliers or bargaining power of suppliers, we have to take a look also on this kinds of model that we need to the we need to check not the this kind of approach the bargaining power of suppliers, and then of course check on all the threats of new entrants, meaning that if there's a new established company and you think that they are threat for this kind of competition, then you may apply this Porter's model. And another thing is that we have here the industry rivalry, threat of substitute, and bargaining power of buyers. So this external environment analysis is important for them to see the different kinds of environmental factors that affect, of course, um, the the business. Okay, we have different kinds of market. To identify the market class, we have the customer analysis. It is assessment of the overall market. But if we talk about the study of customer needs, in that study of customer needs, meaning that we are looking into the characteristic and behavior of the person, of the company, and of course of the consumer. In other words, consumer. So we have also the market analysis, wherein we figure out the different size and growth of the market. So if you want to check the market analysis with regards of its figure, then you may use this identification. And also the market segmentation, wherein the population of a target customer with common characteristic, behavior, needs, and consumption. Okay, so we have here on the target market the segmentations of the market. Okay, and then marketing mix. Marketing mix is a four piece. We have it includes product, place, promotion, and price. So some of the characteristic of a service product, um like tangible, inseparable, homogeneity, and perishability, it's have led to adoption of the additional three P's in the service marketing. Actually, class, it's not only just four P's, but we have also seven. If you would like to expand more of our marketing mix, then you can have the seven P's, the 10 P's that they add up for the four P's. Now, not just promotion, not only that, not only process, but also physical evidence, people, process. um, Another P is the promotion, which is the marketing, and the seven P's of marketing serving service guide this business in delivery, especially in the product and services efficiently and effectively. Then we have the another thing is the marketing and new media. So if we talk about this kind, this the technology is extensive, no, wherein there is greater number of tourists because of its public relations. So meaning they have the PR, they can able to meet the guest, no, through public relation, and of course they have the direct response marketing, meaning that there will be no intermediaries anymore, but you can go directly to all the company, okay, that provides this kind of service, no, like direct marketing or direct advertising. Then we have also the word of mouth, and that is called the personal selling. So it's important in the new media and the marketing as well that this is very cheap, no, with regards of marketing. It's much cheaper rather than doing a marketing with commercials um, and other means of marketing. And then of course the word of mouth is very useful, especially if one of the member of the family experience that, he might bring all of his family, no. And then another one is the internet marketing, which is very important. So if we are going to look into the different developmental plan of advertising and promotion, so we have different tools. Okay, number one is the marketing communication. This is very important. Having a holistic and general term that includes activities, interaction, using of course the marketing elements, mixed elements. So marketing communication is important. You have to make sure that your area have this internet to have the better communication with all of the supplier, with all of the guests, and everything that is involved, no, for the revenue of the company. And then, of course, we have also the IMC in tourism and hospitality step for IMC campaign, and that is to conduct a situation analysis, both internal and external. Of course, you have to align that related product and the company, consumer, competitor, and the related. So we have also to identify the different SWOT analysis that identify possible and concern um, issues and concern about the about your plan. No? So meaning that it is a SWOT analysis. So we have the formulation of campaign strategy by setting the objective, target, and of course positioning. Step for another IMC campaign is that we have to develop, of course, the strategy by determining the theme. So we have to assemble of the marketing plan and consider the marketing activities, appropriate the necessary budget, and of course, evaluate campaign. So take a look on this class because this is very important. This is step for IMC campaign. So if you want to develop a strategy by determining the theme, then you could have you can have uh, this responsibility. Okay, we have the tourism and hospitality advertising. So in advertising about tourism and hospitality, I know that in tourism and hospitality they are really exposed, especially for the promotions and of course for looking at of course the different sales and joint promotion for this tourism hospitality advertising, and of course the distribution of channel intermediaries and the marketing intermediaries. So this three class is important for advertising. So I think that would be all for chapter 7. I hope that you're able to learn something from me. And the marketing side of your entrepreneur is a very important factor and a tool for you guys to make some of the paraphernalia that you would like to do in your booth. So we will gonna have an update with Miss Gemma, who's holding the event, so that you can able to make it in advance if you want. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me.